There are different scoring systems used for deer antlers, but we go by some very simple measurements for the Marbles Hunting Awards, which we give out each year to hunters who get bucks that qualify. And you can qualify three ways. First, if the rack has enough antler points. Our requirements are 10 or more antler points that are 1 inch or longer. Now, a second way to qualify is by having an unusually wide rack. Our minimum is 18 inches or wider. Now, if you don't have enough points or a wide enough rack, you can still qualify if your buck has long antler tines. Our minimum is 10 inches. Those are tall. Michigan has 83 counties, and so far this year we've received entries from 64 of those counties. Upper Peninsula counties that have come up short were primarily the northern counties. Let's take a look at some of the bigger bucks from the UP. On the Lake Michigan side of the Upper Peninsula, Schoolcraft County, this buck is a tall one. It's a wide one. It has 10 points. This was taken by David Witowski from Dearborn Heights. So you just go hunting up there, huh?
Yeah, every year for the last 7 years.
Well, this is a tall rack. You know, not only are the tines, these tines are 9.5-inch tines there, but it's a tall rack. You know, if we had some category where we measured from the bottom there to the top, this is probably one of the taller racks that we've seen. Well, very good. That southern part of the UP then was kind to your camp.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful buck.
Thank you.
Menominee County produced a lot of deer in the Upper Peninsula this year and did produce some nice bucks. Here's one, a dark rack like they often are in the Upper Peninsula. This one qualified two different ways. 19 3/8-inch spread across the width right there, and it also had 11 antler points. But Bob Jones from Burnups, you wanted 12 points on this, huh?
It'd be nice if it was, but it's a little short.
You're talking about this one right here?
Yep.
That one is broken off. Maybe if it wasn't broken off, it might have qualified to be an inch, but that's almost. But that's a nice 11 point. What was the word up there on hunting this season?
Not seeing near as many deer. The weather was so nice, they just didn't seem to be moving when the hunters were out.
Well, you got the big one. You got the 11, almost 12 point for Menominee County. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, the second biggest buck we found from the Upper Peninsula came from Delta County. Bill Amadon from Durand took this one. Well, Bill, that's a typical 12 point.
Yes, sir.
I mean, those sides match up. They're all good tines. I mean, these tines right here, they're 1 inchers. That gives you the extra 12 points. Now, it does have a phenomenal spread, 20-inch spread, 8 1/8-inch tines. That's a dark rack.
Yes, sir. If you smell it, it smells like cedar. You can smell the cedar swamp in it.
I'll be darned. Well, you're from Durand. You went up to Delta.
Yep.
How was the hunting up there this year?
All the 6 of us in our camp, we brought back 3 bucks. This is the biggest, of course. My brother got a 5, and my brother-in-law got a spike.
Well, very good. That is the biggest buck.
We done outstanding.
Yeah, I guess. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We did get a late entry in from the Upper Peninsula's Marquette County, which was unusually large, almost as big as the one from Chippewa. The northern lower peninsula is the other part of the state where big buck entries were short. Of the 19 northeastern counties around the bovine tuberculosis zone, we've received no entries so far from 9 of those counties. That's not a normal year. Let's look at the biggest ones from the 10 counties that did have qualifiers. The big buck from Montmorency County was a 10 point. It had a 16-inch spread, 8-inch tine, so it qualified only on the 10 antler points, but it was taken by Eric Farnsworth from Millington. How old are you, Eric?
15.
15? So this is your second year of gun hunting?
Yeah. And
Second buck?
5th.
5th buck?
Yeah, I've got 5.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
All from up there in the TB zone?
No, I've got 2 from there and 3 behind my house.
No. We had to stop the camera for just a second to sort this thing out legally. 5 bucks, you've been gun hunting 2 years.
2 years.
But bow hunting
For 4.
4. Okay, we'll carry on now. So this is your 5th buck.
Yep.
Well, that's a great one up there. How was the season for the other people up in that area, you know?
Not too good. It's like only a couple people got deer that I know of up there.
Okay, well, you got the big one in Montmorency County.
Yep.
10 points. Congratulations.
Thank you.
From the heart of Area 452, Alcona County, there are some big bucks up there. I haven't seen anything quite this big that I can recall. This is a 10 point with a 19-inch outside spread, good tall 9-inch tines. Joe Russin from Sterling Heights. got this one. You got this bow hunting.
That's correct, yeah.
Wow, you know, looking at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's that 10th point down there. That's an unusual split at the end of that main beam. That's wild. How many years you been hunting up there in that country?
Last 20 years.
And how have you done?
We usually do well. We usually take 1 or 2 bucks a year, but nothing like this.
Nothing like this. That's a tremendously large buck. Of course, you get the award for the biggest buck, Alcona County. You also get the award for the newest flannel shirt right out of the box. That's great that you do that.
Yeah, thank you. I borrowed it from you.
Yes, I know. I don't doubt it. Well, very good, Joe. Great buck from Alcona County, area 452. Ogemaw County kicked out a buck here. This is impressive. It looks like an Upper Peninsula buck. It's a 10-point with a 20-inch outside spread. Longest tine, 9.5 inches. Matt Bauer, you're from Pinconning, but this is no cheesy buck.
No.
Not at all. What, man, that is dark. What were you hunting, swamps up in Ogemaw?
Hunting the hills.
The hills, huh? Well, that's not in the TB zone.
No.
How was the hunting up there? What's the word from the other
The
hunters?
weather was kind of warm, so we didn't see as many deer as normal, but I think this guy made it all worthwhile.
Boy, he sure did. That's a beautiful buck. Congratulations, Matt Bauer.
Thank you.
We don't really think of Crawford County as the land of big bucks. There's an awful lot of bucks up there. There's a lot of public land, and this fellow got this huge buck. It's a 12-pointer with a 21.5-inch spread, but look at this. Wow, that is a strange rack. There's an awful lot of bone in that. Now, the other strange thing about this is 15-year-old Matt Harwood. Come on, Matt. 15, you got the biggest buck that we could find in Crawford County.
Yeah, it is.
I understand this is not your first?
Nope, my third.
Third buck? Are they all on public land?
Yeah.
Wow, that is something else. Look at that. This tine up here comes up and splits. That is huge. Didn't you get kind of scared when you saw that coming through?
No, I just wanted it real bad.
I guess so. Well, Matt Harwood, you're from Grayling. You live up there. Congratulations, the biggest buck from Crawford County. It's a huge one. 12-point, 21.5-inch spread. Wow, look at that antler. That's cool. The tip of the mid up there, the northernmost county in the Lower Peninsula, Emmett County, produced this buck. Look at the size of this. 11 points, 21-inch spread, qualifies in both of those categories, has 8-inch tines. Jim Chafee from Levering got this one. Wow, that's a huge one. Was this on private land or public?
Public land.
Public land. So you don't want to pinpoint where that came from.
No.
You hunt that land frequently?
I've been hunting it since the 3rd of October, seeing spikes and 4 points. 2 days after Thanksgiving, I was out and this come in.
Wow, and you hadn't seen this one before?
I hadn't seen them. I had seen 2 bucks fighting out there, but I couldn't tell what they were. It was when all the leaves were on the trees.
Outstanding from the tip of the northern Lower Peninsula, Emmett County. Congratulations, Jim. Oh, Missaukee County kicked out a big buck here. Looks like a swamp buck. Is this a swamp buck, Craig?
Yes, it is.
Man, look at that dark rack. This has an 18-inch outside spread, which qualifies it. Longest tine is 8 inches, but it really stacked up the points here. It has 14 points, but it looks like a lot of them come from down around the
4 of them come off
the burr there. Yeah. But those, you know, if you count them for an inch long, they make it. Well, Craig Torrey from Lake City, you're how old?
77.
77. And so you've been hunting, let's see, if you
I've
lived
been
up
going since
north.
1929, and I've filled my tags every year since 1934.
No kidding. How does this buck stack up compared with the others?
Oh, I've got a couple bigger than this.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the biggest of the northeastern Lower Peninsula big bucks, at least, by the way we're looking at them this year, came from 3 counties, Antrim, Presque and Clare. The northwestern corner of the Lower Peninsula turned out some pretty nice bucks this year. The only county which did not have an entry was Grand Traverse, the county where the notorious and mysterious Rampolla buck was supposed to have been taken last year. Biggest buck we could find from Lake County, which is just a little west there of the Houghton Lake area. This was an 8-point buck, but it did have a 19 1/8 inch spread, which qualifies. Almost 8-inch tines. Norm Grisinga
That's correct.
from Kalamazoo. You got this one. What's all this yellow business, you suppose?
Stain of rubbing.
from rubbing. I wonder what was rubbing on to get that. Almost looks like maybe pine or who knows. That's very unusual. You're going to have this mounted?
Yes, this. Yeah.
Biggest buck you've ever gotten?
Negative. No, I got bigger.
Bigger one?
Yes,
From-
but not a spread. But it's got longer tines 8s.
So which is better, longer tines or wider spread?
Oh, they're all good. They're all good.
Yeah, they are. Well, congratulations. That's the biggest one we could find from Lake County, Norm. Mason County, up there around the Ludington area, produced, this nice buck. Now, it doesn't qualify for the number of points because it only has 9 points, but they are nice ones. Doesn't qualify really on the tine length. They're 8-inch tines, and we need a 10-inch to qualify, but it does have a 20.5-inch spread. That's a massive rack. Terry DeJohn from Grand Haven. That's a beaut. What's the scoop on this? Swamp buck?
Well, he come out of the swamp. I heard about 10 shots, and about 5 minutes later he come through, and all I seen was this up here, so when I shot him, I thought he was a 4-point, till I walked up on him and found him laying there.
Wow, you got a big one there. Now, of course, an interesting thing that you brought down, your wife Diane, why don't you bring that in here, Diane? This is a buck. I think you can see the quality difference on this rack. It's a little weather beaten. Was this on somebody's barn?
It was on my cousin's garage for a long time.
Wow. And that rack got quite bleached out, but the significance of this is a, it's a big one.
13.
13 point. Bring that certificate in there, Diane. This is a certificate of performance, honorable mention, the 1958 Michigan Outdoors Deer Contest, signed by Morton F. Whose rack was this?
My grandfather's. When I was 5 years old, just started taking me deer hunting the second week of deer camp. So it's quite an honor for me to have the plaque and the horns now that I can put in my trophy room.
No kidding. And there you go. You have two sets of antlers on the Big Buck Night. And, of course, our Big Buck Night was an outgrowth of Morton F's. That's outstanding. Well, congratulations, Terry DeJohn. Quite a bit of history right there. Osceola County produced a big one. This is a 10-point with a 19 7/8-inch spread. Mark Shea from Waterford got this one. That's the biggest buck we could find in that county, Mark.
Is that right?
Yes,
Wow.
indeed. That's
I'm
a nice rack.
surprised.
That's a nice typical rack.
Yeah, it's close.
Now,
It's real close.
the tines are only like 6.5 inches tall, and this, on your shirt, you have a buck right there.
Well, that's the one I passed up.
No, you said that you would rather have that one. Would you rather have a buck?
Well, no, actually, this is fine. This was my biggest bow kill, and I'm just tickled. It's.
But what would you trade taller tines for a narrower rack?
I don't think so. I like the girth and the spread.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
Well, you've got it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Leelanau County, what a beautiful place to travel or hunt deer up there in the Traverse City area. Theron Coleman from Traverse City got this buck. It has 10 antler points. Nice points. Nice, pretty symmetrical rack. Little more than an 18-inch spread, 9.5-inch tines. That's a beaut, Theron. You got this bow hunting?
Yep. On November 4th.
Now, you're 17 years old.
Yep.
Been hunting for how many years?
Since I was 12.
And,
with a bow.
And how many bucks?
First one.
Oh, way to go. Well, congratulations. That's a nice one. That's the biggest buck that we could find in Leelanau County.
Cool.
Way to go.
Thanks.
You bet that's cool. Benzie's Best from Benzie County. We have a 9-point, but it has a 21-inch outside spread, a tine that is 10 7/8 long. Now, this rack has some character. It has a kind of a little different configuration here at the end of the one beam, and it has these tines. Look at the way that curves. Those actually have some curvature to them. So this is an interesting rack. 5 points on one side, 4 on the other. Lawrence Wright from Interlaken.
You got it.
What do you play?
I don't play, but I do rock.
You rock.
Yeah.
You do, okay. Well, you got this with a muzzle loader.
Yes, I did. It was 112 yards away.
Oh, that's quite a shot.
Yes, it was. A shot of my lifetime, I guess.
Wow, this is a big buck, and that has a little character with the curvature on those tines. Well, way to go! That's the biggest one we could find from Benzie County. Congratulations, Larry.
Thank you, Fred.
From that northwestern part of the Lower Peninsula, we have 2 more racks, the one with the widest spread and the one that qualifies in all 3 of our categories. I said we had entries from 64 of Michigan's 83 counties. Well, 7 of the missing entries were from the Upper Peninsula. We dropped 9 in the TB surveillance area, and Grand Traverse County was missing. Now, the other 2 missing counties are on the southern border, and we are working our way south. Let's look at some big bucks from the southern counties of the rifle zone. The biggest buck we could find from Bay County was taken by a lady. Lady Luck here, Gail Holbrook from Saginaw. Got this one. The outside spread on this buck was 21 inches, which easily qualifies it. Has 7.5-inch tines, 9 antler points. Looks like that brow tine there's missing. Gail?
Doesn't look like it ever grew, and I don't think.
No, it didn't. I was just waiting for you to talk there. You're getting over laryngitis, huh?
Yes.
Well, tell me about this rack. Is this something that you do every year?
No,
Big bucks?
I've been hunting for 3 years. This is the first buck I've ever saw in the woods.
Wow.
I was sitting there and I kind of was looking around, and I'd been there for about 3 hours, so I was kind of bored. And I was looking around, and all of a sudden I looked up and he was about 30 yards from me.
Very good. Well, this was the biggest buck we could find in Bay County. How about that? Gratiot County's best, the biggest that we could find, was an 8-point, but a big wide 8-point with tall tines. It had a 21 1/8-inch spread. Of course, that qualifies on our program, plus 10-inch tines. A huge one. Dave Luce from Alma.
From Alma.
You got this one?
Yep, first nice buck and bow.
And
on my boy's birthday, October 3rd.
Really? Were you hunting with Dad?
Nope.
No.
But he got you that for your birthday.
Night before, he told me that's all I wanted for his birthday was for me to get a good buck.
Well, outstanding.
And that's the truth.
Outstanding. You did that, and both of you made big buck night. Congratulations.
Thank
Way to go. That's a nice one. Russell Jones from Hope got the biggest buck we could find in Midland County. This one qualified in 2 out of the 3 categories. Had a 20-inch spread. Look at those tines. 11-inch tines on that baby. Only 8 points. But I don't know, only 8 points, Russ?
Only 8.
Probably the biggest one you've ever taken?
Yes, it is. I shot one 2 years ago. It was on your show. It was close.
Wow, that's something else. Well, that was in Midland County, the 21st of October. The big buck from Newaygo County is a rack that is another one of these tall racks that nobody really measures for the height from the bottom to the top. But this is unusually tall, and it's a heavy rack too. Brent Houtman from Sparta.
Yep.
You got this one on, let's see, that was the 15th, opening day of gun season. This is an 11-point. They seem like all good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All good big points, a 20.5-inch spread, 7-inch tines. How was the season over there?
Pretty good, pretty good. We had 7 spike horns hanging on this, so.
What was the longest spike?
Oh, we had some 9-inch spikes.
Hey, well, you took not only your deer camp, but you took the county, as far as we know, with this one. Congratulations, Brent. Montcalm County produced a couple big bucks that are noteworthy. This one here is a 13-point, of course meets the 10-point qualification. It also has a 19 1/8-inch spread. It's a big boy. Bob LeBonville from Middleton, huh?
Yes, Fred.
Now, you've been hunting how many years?
Oh, quite a few.
And how many bucks have you got of this caliber?
None. This is my largest one. I got him with a bow, so it made me feel pretty good.
Well, you should. Qualifies for our award program on the spread and the number of points. You got plenty of them. Congratulations, Bob.
Thank you, Fred.
Muskegon County was dominated this season by the Bernhardt boys. We have the younger of the two, Nate, 17-year-old Nate. Nate, you got a pair of qualifying racks here. Both of these are 10 points. Both of them have 18-inch spreads. And this one has 9-inch tines. This one has 5.5-inch tines. But boy, this is something, if you go by just the mathematics there, you wouldn't give credit to the mass on this rack. That's probably, what, twice as heavy?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
That is something else. And you got both of these gun season.
Yep.
Opening day and the second day.
Yep. Opening morning and small one, and next morning, big one.
That is something else. What about your brother, your 24-year-old brother? What can you tell me about him? He just shoots the 8 points?
Yeah, he's a bow hunting fool, that's all I got to say.
Is that right? Are you?
Yeah.
Sure, try hard.
Well, now your bucks are both 8 points, and this one qualifies with a 10-inch tine. So you bow hunt, brother Nate gun hunts.
Yeah, I do hunting
All the hunting, but I seem to do best at bow hunting.
No kidding. Jeremy and Nate Bernhardt, if you're wondering where all the big bucks went in Muskegon County, they are on the wall in the Bernhardt Den, huh?
Yeah.
The southern counties of the rifle zone had particularly notable racks coming from 5 counties, and 2 of these, Oceana and Mecosta, turned out bucks that make our Hoosier Papa Club. The southern part of the lower peninsula generally produces a lot of big bucks. Now, the thumb counties are farming counties, and you'd expect big bucks there. But the metropolitan counties, in this day and age, turn out some monsters. We got a whomping big buck here from Genesee County on opening day. Tim Carlson from Auburn Hills took this. Tim, there's several things about this rack that is unusual. One of them here was just the width of this beam. Holy cow, that is big. What else about this rack is different?
Well, the drop tine right here, this is kind of the first thing I've ever seen on a deer like that.
So that gave you the 11th point.
Yep, that gave me the 11th, but hurt me overall in the deductions, but I'll take that.
Oh, not with our system.
Yeah, not with your system.
In fact, that helped you on the spread.
Yep.
You originally scored this with about a 20.5-inch spread.
Yep.
How did you get the widest spread?
Well, he measured from the longest tine here to the drop tine down here, and this gave me an extra 3 inches on the spread.
23 inches.
Yep.
Well, congratulations. That's how you do it. Hey, we give you credit for everything in our system, Tim.
Hey, I'll take that any day.
Sanilac County produced one tall rack here. This was taken by Dan Gehrman from Brown City. This says, how long are these tines here, Dan?
11 2/8.
Yeah, 2/8, that's a quarter, 11 1/4 inches. And I tell you, this is one of these big white bleached racks. A lot of those come from the thumb area. So you were hunting with a muzzle loader?
Yes, opening morning.
Opening morning of gun season. Why the muzzle loader?
Challenge, longer range.
Well, you met the challenge there. You got the tallest buck, the biggest buck we could find from Sanilac County. Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you.
Wayne County, of all places. You wouldn't think a big buck would come from there, but we have a beast that came from there, a 12-point buck. All of these great big tines. In fact, the longest tine is 9 3/8 inches, a 20 3/4 inch spread. Guy who got this was Stuart Johnstone from Redford. Wayne County?
Yep.
What's the deal? Along the expressway? You hit it with your car? What? Tell me.
Well, I got him right off a golf course, believe it or not.
Really?
Not
Say
too
no
far.
more.
That's enough.
Say no more. It was not Kensington, though, or anything
No,
in that area, not one of the metro parks. Okay, but this is what Wayne County can produce. Down there right amongst, you could probably hear traffic and airplanes and
Yeah, airplanes.
everything else from where you are. That is something else. That's a monster rack. That's our monster rack from Wayne County. Quite something, Stuart Johnstone. 12-point, congratulations.
Thank you.
That Wayne County buck was impressive, but out of these southeastern counties, we have more. The northern and western counties of the shotgun zone all reported trophy bucks. Let's take a look at some of the most impressive ones, starting with the county on Lake Michigan. The biggest buck from Ottawa County is a 9-pointer, kind of deceptive here. Where is that 9th point?
Right here, it's just an inch. I didn't really feel like counting it, but it's an inch.
Okay, but you'll take her for a 9. It qualifies for our award program with the spread, which is more than 18 inches. It is a 20 1/8 inch spread. And you are Dan Lipsky from?
Marne.
From Marne? And biggest buck you've ever taken?
Oh, yeah.
Well, way to go. That's the biggest one we could find in Ottawa County. Shiawassee County's biggest here. This is going to be a challenge on counting these points. It's a big bleached out rack. It does have 10-inch tines, so that puts it in our contest. 17.5-inch spread, a little bit short in that category, but it does have 12 antler points. Now, I've been looking at this, Ricky Thayer from Corunna. Now, you got 1, 2, that counts as a point?
Yeah, just barely.
3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where do we?
2 down there.
And 2 down there. Oh, man, that just makes it.
Yeah, well, it deducts it too.
Deducts it in different scoring systems.
For Pope and Young.
Yeah, for Pope and Young. Well, we'll give you credit for that one. That's a nice buck. Shiawassee County, 12-pointer. You got that with the bow.
Yep.
Just before the end of gun season.
Yep.
Ionia County produced a big one for the boards here. This was a 13-point. It's very symmetrical, sort of a white bleached out rack. Doesn't have real tall tines, a little over 6 inches, but it meets our qualifications both on the 18-inch spread And it has 13 antler points. Jim Alderink from Ionia. That's a beaut. You got this with a bow?
Yes, I did. Yep, 32 yards.
32 yards, and you were hunting just 5 days before gun season.
Yeah.
Did you go gun hunting?
Yeah.
See anything?
Yeah, I seen quite a few, but nothing big, so I didn't shoot anything.
Huh. Well, you got a big one there. Biggest one we could find in Ionia County. Congratulations, Jim. From Clinton County, Dave Farr from DeWitt, he got a buck that qualifies in 2 out of our 3 minimum criteria. One, it has 10 antler points. It also has a tine of 11 5/8. And is this the tine right here,
Yeah,
Dave?
that's the one right there.
Holy cow, that's a very unusual. It's not really a drop tine. It's not really a brow tine. Those are the brow tines there.
He tried to get one right here.
Holy cow, that is very strange. The other strange thing about the rack is that it's shaped, I call these sort of like basketball racks. They're kind of round, but look at these 3 ends of the tines are just within an inch of each other. That is weird.
The thing that I found the most weird about it, Fred, is you think that it was like this on his head, but it wasn't. It's like this on his head.
Tip back.
That's how, this right here was straight up and down almost, and these
I'll
were
be darned.
pointed right back.
That's going to make a great mount.
He's going to be mounted, don't worry about that.
Here's another buck from Clinton County, but it's big in different ways. It doesn't have the tall tines. The longest tine is 6 inches tall, so it's not a tall rack. But it is very busy with points. Look at the points. You got 13 here that are legitimate. Sean Kellogg from Langsburg, you wanted to count this one, huh?
Oh, I'd like to try, but nobody's letting me do it.
Nobody's letting you do it, and there's another one over here. This one right here.
Yeah.
Not quite an inch tall. And of course, you always point out that one there. That's just a bump. Come on, Sean.
He's trying. Come on, give him a little credit.
But I tell you what, this rack has that many don't. It has a lot of points close together. Look at all those points, just in a very small area, but that makes an impressive rack. That's also 19 1/4 inches wide. So Nick Sade, your taxidermist, got this baby mounted right away, huh?
Yep, this is 20 days old right now.
20 days old.
He does a good job and he goes fast.
Hey, and you did a good job on that buck. 13 points.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Sean. We have a Clinton County buck here that qualifies in all 3 categories. It has a widespread 21 1/2 inches. Longest tine is 10 5/8, so that makes our 10-inch minimum, and it has 10 antler points. Well, 8 of them you can see real easy right here, and then these that come off the burr, sticker points. Some scorers don't score that type of thing in some scoring systems off the burr, but we give you credit for everything. So, Dave Falsetta from Grand Ledge.
Yes.
Biggest buck you've taken?
Yes,
You hunt down here every year, or you go up north at all?
I hunt down here.
And what did you hear about this year? Were people seeing deer?
Yep, yep. A lot of does.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But you got the big buck.
Yep. Thanksgiving morning.
Well, that's a nice one. Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you.
This belt of counties across the middle of the southern lower peninsula produced what might be a couple of the biggest bucks of the year, at least on points and spread. Livingston, Allegan, and Eaton County turned out these big boys. The 2 southern Michigan counties that did not report any qualifiers for a Marbles Hunting Award, at least at the time we were putting together Big Buck Night, were Berrien and Cass counties in the southwest. Now, I can't explain it. There was a lot of speculation that Washtenaw County would once again produce more bigger racks than any other county. Not true in 1999, but you can't take anything away from the bucks that came from Washtenaw. Washtenaw County's basic big buck, your basic 10-point, 20-inch spread. Doesn't have tremendously long tines, but this is a big rack from that county that always produces lots of big ones. Dan Kaustis, and you're from Dearborn. You were hunting with a 10-gauge single shot?
Yeah, the last hunt with the 10-gauge single shot, we got a couple misfires, and we actually got it on the 4th try. He was running towards us on that one.
No kidding.
It's a long story, yeah, but
You shucked out the shells and...
Shucked him out, reloaded him, and he grunted him in on the 4th try.
Whoa. And you were hunting with your stepson here?
Yeah, he was in the tree with me. He spotted him actually originally and was there for the fiasco.
That's quite a tale. The 10-point with the 10-gauge, Outstanding. Well, that got you on Big Buck Night, Dan. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Here's Washtenaw County's 11-point, another big buck. Had a 21-inch outside spread, 8 3/4-inch tines. Vern Rivette from Ypsilanti. You got this one. You have
Opening day,
opening day.
9:15 in the morning.
With whose gun?
My buddy Mark lent me a single shot 12 gauge, sir. 5 o'clock in the morning. I picked it up before he went to work, and I went out to the woods instead of going to work.
No kidding. So you hadn't shot that before?
I never shot it before. It was only a 20-yard shot when I took this. So
Holy cow.
I didn't have too much problem.
Wow, having a buck that big, that close, that's something else.
My first deer ever.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Your first
I'm
deer?
ruined. I'm ruined.
You are. Well, you're going to have to buy a gun of your own.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations there, Vern. That's a great buck for a first deer, Washtenaw County. Well, this is a 12-point with a 20-inch spread. Qualifies in 2 out of the 3 categories. Washtenaw County got it on the 20th of November. Dr. Tim Riley. It's a spectacular rack there, Tim.
Well, thanks, Fred. Got it with a shotgun there. Walked up on him. I was walking out of the woods and accidentally walked up on him. He was laying there with the doe and took off and took a stop and looked back at me and gave me a broadside.
Whoa. What's that other antler?
This is a shed antler from 2 years prior. We saw him with a bow and never had an opportunity with a bow. And that's what happens in 2 years.
In 2 years. Got it to be a
2 years,
12-point
yeah.
buck. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, they keep getting bigger and bigger from Washtenaw County. This one is a 13-pointer with an outside spread of 22 1/4 inches. Dave Folks from Belleville got this. Dave, you're 18 years old.
Yes, sir.
You think you deserve a buck that big at that age?
First year hunting.
Really?
Yep. Was out in the woods for 2 hours.
Oh, man. But this is a massive rack. The diameter of these beams is incredible. Gnarly. So you think this is just easy, huh?
Oh, yeah. No, I was told I should let this one go by because it's all downhill from here.
Oh, no.
But I don't believe him, so.
You did the right thing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Washtenaw County produced big bucks, but this year, looking at the overall size of the entries, the top county would have to be Calhoun.